we attach great importance to the holding of Durban Review Conference in 2009. The Zionist regime continues and even intensifies its heinous crimes. Excellencies, the world is experiencing new forms and manifestations of racism, racial discrimination, xenophobia, and related intolerance, mostly in the northern hemisphere.
Another alarming trend is the increasing rise of Islamophobia. Today, Islamophobia is being so much akin to racism. New and ever-increasing trends of insulting religions and religious sanctities is a clear application of racist reflection. We express our deep concern on the cultural uprooting which is continuously unfolding in the Palestinian occupied territory on the basis of such doctrines. The measures against the Palestinian people, including the construction of apartheid wall and destruction of religious, educational, cultural and historic sites, and all the actions designed to change the demographic composition of the occupied Palestinian territory and to destroy their cultural heritage, are manifesting the prevalence of a racist regime in that territory.
Emerging of new forms of racism in the aftermath of Durban Conference, particularly after September 11, and under the pretext of the so-called war against terror, reflects the visible rise of contemporary manifestation of racism, racial discrimination, and xenophobia throughout the world, and especially against Muslims.
Despite all efforts, emergence of new forms of racism in the aftermath of September 11th, and under the pretext of the so-called war against terror, reflects the visible rise of contemporary manifestations of racism, racial discrimination, and xenophobia throughout the world, and especially against Muslims. In this respect, we would like to express once again our strong condemnation over the cases of stereotyping Islam through making a defamatory film against the Holy Quran in the Netherlands as a vivid example of incitement to racial and religious hatred.
Emerging of new forms of racism in the aftermath of Durban Conference, particularly after September 11, and under the pretext of the so-called war against terror, reflects the visible rise of contemporary manifestation of racism, racial discrimination, and xenophobia throughout the world, and especially against Muslims.